And we are back to Beer Bros.
We're back.
Coming to you Sunday Funday edition of the quarantine show. We got a semi-loaded show today. I have potentially 3 beers. Rob has 2 for us. It's gonna be a fun one.
It is. I'm very excited. I got some interesting treats for today.
All right, excellent. You've been sitting on these for a while, so
I haven't.
I am excited to see what you say about them. For myself, I'm continuing the 450 North trend. We got 2, maybe 3. I don't know. We had Catastrophe on the last show. If you didn't watch it, we don't know what's in this mystery bottle. We're gonna find out.
There's only one way to find out.
Today there really is only one way to find out. So we will figure that out together. But yeah, Rob, before we do that, I want to give people a quick update on where they can find us, where they can email us, contact us, all that fun stuff.
Absolutely. Let's give a quick overview of them. Untapped, if you don't have the app, download it. We're at The Beer Bros. That's our username. Email us, tell us what we're doing wrong, give us suggestions, whatever. thebeerbros@gmail.
Feedback.
Yeah. Listen, we're not doing podcasts right now, but listen to the past shows. Apple, Spotify, Anchor, we're all there. Twitter.
Shows for those. So
What's that?
So we have seven shows on there, so you got nothing better to do right now. You're stuck at home. Give us a listen.
Absolutely. Join us on Twitter at @DubBeerBros1. We post a lot of impromptu reviews. I did one last night. Also, we're on Instagram, @DubBeerBrosPod, and then like and follow our Facebook page, @DubBeerBros.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Good job on that, Rob.
We also have YouTube now.
Yes, yeah, and
that's where this
on YouTube, The Beer Bros. You can find our last quarantine show where we Rob did a hodgepodge of different kind of beers. I think they were all expired. Rob might die. I don't know. It was fun while it was lasting. And then I had 3 different beers from 450 North Brewing Company. So yeah, a lot of fun stuff. We're going to continue to do quarantine shows here, and then at some point we will have. Once we can leave our homes, we will do other content as well for that.
Have more themes to our episodes rather than a little back and forth of
it won't just be about beer. We'll do some fun stuff as well while we're sipping on some brewskis. So
sure.
You just want to? I say we just jump right into it. Let's get to our first one. I will go first. I don't know what's in this. We're gonna find out together. If you watched the last episode, I was supposed to be drinking slushy Sunny Paradise XL. It was not. It was Beetlejuice. So we're going to find out what's in here. If it's the same one, I'm just going to drink it. We're not going to score it. We're just going to move on. Damn it. Yeah. It looks like the same.
Yeah, that is a little bit.
I believe it is the same beer. I don't know what it is. We're just going to get a little quick sip in there. Well, that's a bummer. Oh, well.
There's only one way to find out.
Doesn't really taste like the other one.
Okay.
I don't know. It's fine. I can't give it. I don't know what I'm drinking, so I really don't think it's fair to give it a score. It's fine. If anyone can take the color of that, the tag was Beetlejuice.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe that was Beetle. I don't know. Who knows? At some point or another, I'll drink it's now. This is my white whale. I have to find the Slushy Paradise thing. Unless I just didn't order it, and I thought I did. But I'm pretty sure I ordered it. Who knows? All right, well, Rob, you want to go with your first one then? And let me...
Sure.
I have no idea what I have.
So like I said, I got some tasty treats. I posted one of these last night for an impromptu review. because I really wanted to try it. I didn't want to wait till today. So I'm doing Bourbon County stuff today from Goose Island. I'm very excited for this. Today, I got the 2016. It's the brand Barley Wine Ale. And then 2017, I have the brand Stout, which is the first one I'm going to do. And that is the very first bourbon barrel-aged beer that Goose Island made. And if I read this correctly, I think it was the first in the Midwest altogether. So I don't know if that's 100% true, but there is a lot on their website, how they do this, when it started, where it started, all of that. Really cool process. I would definitely give it a read. I mean, it lays out everything and tells you explicitly how they do it, where they go. I'll start off with a little fun fact for the brand Stout. They started back in 1992, and their first barrels that they used were Jim Beam barrels. So I thought that was really interesting. Now they're doing a lot of different ones, but it's all bourbon. They do Wild Turkey, Jim Beam. There was some other local distilleries down in Kentucky that they use as well. So give you a short beer description on the bottle. It's intense aromas of charred oak, which comes from the barrel, vanilla, caramel, and smoke. I'm very excited to try this.
Sounds good.
Let's pop it open.
Pop that bad boy open.
As far as like the bottle art goes, I mean, there's not a lot to it, but I think it's a slick looking bottle.
It does look very like elegant. Like
it is.
I like the little flap on the out there. It honestly looks like a bottle of bourbon more than it does like a beer bottle. So.
Yep, and even on the little flap, it says the original bourbon barrel aged stout. So could have been the first one. Wow.
Let's give that bad boy a pour.
So they say you're supposed to drink these out of like snifter glasses. Yeah, but I don't really have many. I have one, but it's a Sam Adams one, and I'm not going to use it. But anyways, obviously very dark in color. It's a stout.
What's the smell?
Ooh, right away you get the caramel. You get that smokiness. I feel like the smokiness is heavy in the smell. It smells delicious. But
hey, there's only one way to find out, Rob.
Yes.
What do we got? What do we got for taste?
Definitely a lot of caramel. It is very tasty. A lot of caramel. You get that kind. I feel like that smoky, those smoky tones come in the aftertaste. I want to say a little like hints of chocolate as well. I think it kind of, but I could be confusing that probably for the vanilla. And as far as like charred oak or that bourbon like taste, I feel like that's kind of in the back. It's not the first thing you taste. So I think that's really good. I think that's what makes a lot of their Bourbon County stuff really good is it's a tasty beer, but not overpowered by the bourbon whiskey taste that you sometimes get with other barrel aged beers. So this is pretty delicious.
Sounds delicious. If you're gonna eat this with the food, what are you pairing this with?
So
dessert. I'm gonna ask you what specific dessert. I'm putting you on the spot.
You could definitely say these are dessert beers. I'm actually not going to go that route. I mean, I'm going to say time of day also. It's definitely a late night beer. It's a dinner beer. Even though it's rich in flavor, I think it should be paired with some kind of food that is also rich in flavor, but something that's not heavy because you're already drinking a pretty heavy beer. You kind of want something that's very tasty, but also light on you. I'm going to pair this with a nice filet mignon. I think it would pair very perfectly with it. Filet mignon has a lot of flavor. It's not, your serving size is not big though. It's like, as big as my fist. So it's not going to give you that overwhelming full feeling,
I get you.
Going to have that nice warm feeling, I think, with the steak.
I mean, you kind of talked about it's going to be a nighttime, dinner time beer.
Absolutely.
Are you drinking this during a specific time of the year, or is it going to be more of something you could drink year round?
I mean, you could definitely drink it year round. I mean, we kind of always associate dark beers with the winter time, just because it's kind of something warm going down, and the bourbon tones to it definitely give you that warm feeling inside. So I want to say wintertime, but honestly, you can drink it year round. The best time of year I would recommend, though, it would be the winter or fall.
Oh, I can dig it. All right. That was Bourbon County. Now we know what these two are. I swear, if they can these weirdly,
I gotta rate my beer real quick.
Oh, shoot, I'm sorry. I got so excited.
Okay.
You've been talking for a while.
So this is very delicious, very tasty. And like I said on the past episode, I'm not normally the biggest fan of a lot of these barrel-aged beers, but I think what makes this so good is, the bourbon taste that you typically get with a lot of these barrel-aged beers isn't the forefront. You get that vanilla, that smoky caramel taste up front, and I think that's really what makes it tasty. I'm going to rate this a 4.21.
4.21. Damn. That's a high score. Might be one of our highest ones we've given. So it is one of our.
There's the bourbon right there. Just got it now. In the back of my tongue. There it was.
So it's a nice little surprise.
Yeah.
It takes a couple of sips to get it.
It does.
Now I'm up. All right, so this one is we're going to go with Fruity Nuggets. They do a lot of, like, 450 North. They do a lot of, like, these nugget series. They have, like, gold nugget, silver nugget, platinum nugget. So I went with Fruity Nugget. Sounded something that was right up my alley, so I had to do it. Take a look at the can here real quick. It's like Fruity Pebbles.
I love it.
I want to get a box of Fruity Pebbles right now. I have to go through my Fruit Loops first. I sound like a child, but yeah. Description on the can here. It's a double dry hopped IPA with Citra, Mosaic, got it, and El Dorado hops.
That sounds delicious.
It sounds very good. I don't really know where the fruit's coming from, but we're going to find out. There's only one way to find out. Let's get that.
I mean, you just spoke my words. Like, double dry hopped and Citra. Like, it looks a little hazy.
It does have a little bit of that haze. Maybe that's just it's still settling, but yeah, it definitely does look a little hazy. You really can't see your fingers through it. Yeah, it kind of has like a bit of an orange tint to it a little bit, if you can kind of see it. But no, it still looks pretty good. Let's get a little smell on that. Oh yeah, you can definitely pick up on that Citra hop. It is much more stronger than the other two, but a delightful smell. It smells just like one of my favorites, but there's only one way to find out. Oh yeah, that is definitely a Joe beer. It's got that very good bite that I do like with a double hopped IPA or any IPA in general. Does kind of remind me of a little bit of I guess kind of like any kind of Revolution IPA. They're part of their Hero series. It's very tasty.
Okay.
Yeah, it does have that bite. If you're not really into IPAs, I don't think you're going to enjoy this beer.
Is it on like the anti-hero level of hops?
No, I think anti-hero is a little bit stronger, I would say. Yeah. Also, the ABV on this is 7.2%. So
forgot to say for mine.
We're up there. I think Revolution's bite is a little bit different as opposed to this one. I think this one might be a little bit sweeter. Okay. Maybe just because the Citra hop is there, but I think if you're a fan of IPAs, I think you'll really, really, really like this beer. Very tasty. If I'm going with a food pairing on this, it's definitely not something you're going to want to eat with something heavy. This is a very heavy beer. This is probably honestly a good appetizer beer. You're going to want to start your day off with it. If I'm going to specific appetizer, someday we're going to be able to leave our homes and we're going to be able to go get a nice plate of wings. I'm going to say you get some nice buffalo wings. It'll help cool your mouth down a little bit. Fight and bite with bite. I'm going to go with some chicken wings. Sauce specifically, we're gonna go Caribbean jerk. I don't know. It just sounds like a good idea. Good mix. But yeah, overall, very, very solid beer. Time of the year, I'm probably gonna go with actually fall, which by the name would sound kind of surprising because you would think spring and summer, but
yeah,
I think this is a very good warm beer. You're at a tailgate, you're watching a Bears game, Mitchell Trubisky is overthrowing another wide receiver. You want to forget about it.
Or Nick Foles.
Well, Nick Foles will have like a broken clavicle at this point. I don't know. Let's not depress ourselves too much right now.
Yeah.
I think this is a really good one. It'll warm you up as well, but it's not like super heavy, but it's, it'll get you there. If you drink a couple of these, you'll feel a little bloated. I'm going to give this a score. Gosh, I really like that one. That is, I'm joining the 4 club. I'm going 4.18.
Wow. Quick question.
Yes.
So I think you and I have a common favorite when it comes to the IPA department.
Yep.
Next Coast. Is it anything like that? Because I feel like Next Coast is a dry hopped IPA is also very juicy as well.
Yeah, I that's actually a very, very good point. I think I could definitely. I have a Next Coast. I might have to drink one to just kind of compare it together.
Sure.
Maybe that'll be the next episode. I'll compare some beers. we gotta. But yeah, I could definitely see that being kind of in the Next Coast category of.
Okay.
It's the bite is there, but it's not a vicious bite, I suppose.
Okay.
Like, you're not going to taste the hop as much as you would others.
Sure.
Because there are ones where you're like, wow, that is way too much. Like hops there. But that is my score. Fruity Nuggets, very delicious. I will be finishing that bad boy up today.
Perfect. I forgot to say the ABV on my first one for the brand stout. It is 14.7%. So I don't know if I'm going to be finishing these. I'd like to, but it's really going to be a Sunday Funday if I do.
Maybe just finish one.
I'm going to see if I can find they have like those wine corks that you stuff in the bottle and it keeps it fresh. I'm going to see if I can find something like that for these.
I mean, hey, you don't have to drive anywhere, and you got time to let it wear off for work, so I think you should.
That's true. It's very true. It is very early in the day. It's only 2:30. So, anyways, without further ado, I'm going to go on to my next one. We got the Bourbon County brand barley wine ale. So, not a stout, but I assume it's going to be dark in color as well, kind of similar to a stout, just because it's aged in barrel or bourbon barrels.
I can see it maybe a little bit of a reddish hue if it's with a little wine.
I think so. So, anyways, so again, Goose Island, location, Chicago, Illinois. A little fun fact. I thought this was really interesting so much information that they have on their website, but this was really cool. And I think it's kind of something to bode well about it for Chicago weather. We usually don't brag about Chicago weather. You can brag when it comes to aging beer in whiskey or in bourbon barrels, because it says on their website, so the changing of the seasons with the expansion and contraction of the wood pulling and pushing the beer in and out of the wood will result in the beer picking up characters of each layer of the barrel. So according to their website, I thought that was really interesting. So, I mean, just because our weather is all over the place here, but the hot Chicago summer really expands the wood.
Yeah.
So the beer will soak into it more. And then in the winter, it'll contract and, the beer will come back into the barrel and suck out that flavor that from the whiskey barrels. So I thought that was really interesting.
It is interesting.
Beer description real quick. It says on the bottle, oak, charcoal, hints of tobacco, which that's interesting. I don't know what to make of that. I do like my cigars, but we'll see how this is in a beer. I don't know.
It might be a bit of an interest, and charcoal too.
Yes, I do like charcoal. I think I'll like that flavor.
Very smoky.
Yes, and also vanilla with the bourbon character. So looking at that, I think we're probably going to see more of that bourbon flavor in this beer, but there's only one way to find out.
You got it.
So right away, I think you're right.
ABV on this?
What's up?
Did you say the ABV on that?
ABV on this one is 13.6. So, I mean, we're not really dropping in the ABV much from the first to the second. But Joe is right when it comes to the color. It's definitely that dark, kind of, I don't want to say stout looking color, but it's almost like a dark amber.
Yeah, you could kind of see a little bit of that. It's definitely not as dark as the other one.
It's a little red hint when you hold it up to the light. There's definitely a red tint to it. So, I feel like I definitely smell the vanilla and the bourbon right away. So that's definitely in the forefront. I want to say I smell the tobacco, but I don't know. We'll see. It's only one way to find out.
Drink up.
So I really wanted to let that sit in my mouth because I want to see if I can pick up on each flavor. I definitely pick up on the oak, but I feel like the caramel is really the forefront flavor. That's really what I picked up right away, and also the vanilla. So I can't say that I taste the tobacco in there. So I don't know where that is.
That might be a good thing.
Second sip, I feel like I get that bourbon character right away. So, and I kind of noticed that with the beer that I drank last night from Bourbon County. The first sip I picked up on a lot of the there was like a jammy fruit taste to it, and then I picked up on the chocolate notes.
One could say you got jammed.
I did get jammed on that first taste. I did. Again, this is going to be late at night, dinner time, dessert beer, that as far as time of day goes, food pairing. Again, I think it's something with a lot of flavor, but is going to be a light food. So I want to say, if you're going to go meat, I would say a lean pork chop or a lamb chop, actually. But I also think it would go well with some kind of appetizer. Charcuterie board always works. Cheeses, some kind of very flavorful cheeses, I think would complement it.
Wine and cheese night.
Yes. But if the one that really comes to mind that I think would really pair well with it, and that's bruschetta.
Ooh, okay. Not the biggest bruschetta guy, but I can get down with it.
Okay. If I have to rate this, it's not. I think the brand stout's better, but personally, that could be because I like stouts a lot more. This is very flavorful, though. It's very tasty still. I'm going to rate it a 3.71.
0.71. So you could say the Bourbon counties were a success this round.
Yes, they were.
It's a very
They're very bubbly still too, which makes me happy. So I've had some of these beers stored in one of my back rooms over here, so I don't have enough room in the fridge. I did pop these bad boys in the fridge though about a week ago. So. What's that?
I get a bigger fridge.
I know, right? I need a second fridge.
Always had the second fridge. All right, awesome. Yeah, I think that's anything else you want to say about the brandy wine?
I feel like I'm now picking up a lot of vanilla now. So
dope.
Tasty. Definitely would recommend these. They come out with them every year. Something I think I forgot to mention is one of my big questions about the Bourbon County stuff was, well, how long do they age this? And, how long does it take to really bring out those bourbon tones and flavors? They age them for like 8 to 12 months, which, I figured because, we talked about the changing seasons. You want to make sure you get all the seasons in that barrel. And Goose Island has, at their brewery, they have a side building where they keep all the barrels in there. It's not air conditioned. It's not heated, anything like that. I mean, it is like fully open to all the seasons that Chicago experiences.
Yeah. I mean, we both went on a tour, and we
saw the barrel room.
Yeah,
it's very cool.
It's very cool. During the summer, they usually like empty out their barrel room for a block party. I mean, it's all very fun.
You can have a wedding there too, actually.
You can, yeah.
A little expensive, but because I looked into it, but
got to pay. You got to pay to have a good time. So.
You got to pay to have a good time. Yeah.
Alrighty, awesome. Yeah, Goose Island, Bourbon County, or any Goose Island in general, check them out. They're an awesome brewery. I mean, honestly, big thing right now. Support your local breweries. I mean, yeah, pay patronage to other people. But I mean, during trying time, your microbreweries, those guys that are struggling right now, help them out.
Absolutely.
Buy a gift card, buy a 6-pack, do what you can.
Do your curbside pickup.
Yeah, all about that curbside pickup. It's awesome. Actually, I should send you. I got my brother-in-law. He sent me a list of like you can get like a brother-in-law or his brother. Somebody sent me a list of like a route you can take to just do a bunch of curbside pickups in Chicago. I might be doing that next week. I don't know. I'm getting a little stir crazy in this house, so might take a little ride.
There you go. I mean, part of me wants to do that. I just want to take a drive down to the city, do some curbside pickup at Goose, but also drive around because I want to see. This is like, I mean, something that never happens because what's going on, but I want to see how empty it is. I mean, that's got to be crazy to see. It's going to look like a ghost town.
I was driving there the week before St. Patty's Day, and it was as dead as I've ever seen it. You're usually not able to drive around in the city because it's so far back. You were able to move pretty efficiently.
So that would be a fun experience. I would definitely be down.
Car, wear your mask. Do what you want to do. But yeah, definitely support your local. But let's get to the final beer on this one. I've had this one before. Wanted to give it a shot. It's Doubloons Slushy XL. If you look at the can a little bit, you got a slushy right there. You got some doubloons right there.
Don't drop them.
Don't. Good old SpongeBob reference there. Don't drop them. The description on the can here: a smoothie-style Berliner Weiss with raspberry, plum, chocolate, coconut, vanilla, graham cracker, and lactose. Whole lot of stuff going on in there, but it's a good time. I don't see the ABV on this. I'm not going to bother looking it up. It's probably somewhere around Fruity Nuggets, maybe a little less, but I mean, they're usually a little bit higher. But let's go ahead and give this bad boy a pour.
That was a good crack, by the way.
Thank you. Been practicing. So I'm starting to think that perhaps that was what. No, definitely not what was in the bottle.
I can't believe how red these beers are.
Yeah, well, I mean, so the big thing, like I said in the last show, like they do like use real fruit in these beers. So
sure,
you do definitely get that color. Yeah, This bad boy is straight red, not as red as the one there, not as red as the other one that looked like a legit fruit smoothie. Right away, you can definitely get the smell of like that chocolatey graham cracker kind of smell. You don't really get much of the raspberry or plum smell. It's mostly the chocolate, vanilla, and graham cracker, but it smells very, very pleasant actually. But taste wise, there's only one way to find out. So it's much tart. It's a lot tarter than pretty much any of the other ones I've had. The key lime pie was a little bit more tart, but you definitely get the raspberry taste right away. But as it goes down your throat, you do start to get that much more sweeter tone. So you get the graham cracker, you get the vanilla. The chocolate you don't really taste as much. I think the vanilla and graham cracker are a little bit more poignant here. But still, it's very tasty. I'm trying to put my finger. I forget that. I get the expression. I've had too many of these apparently. Very, very tasty though. I mean, if you like a good kind of like sour beer, I think this is a good way to go with them. Actually, I think they do describe it as they describe it also as a fruited sour, so that would make sense. Yeah, no, it's very tasty. Preferably, I do enjoy fruity nugget a little bit more. Obviously, I'm an IPA guy, so that makes sense. But I think this is much smoother than others that I've had from them. Some are a little bit more, especially with the fruit, a little bit more heavy. But I think this is a lot more easy drinking. This is absolutely a summer kind of beer.
Looks like it.
You're gonna have it at the pool. I think it's nice and easy. Get a 4-pack of that. Sit poolside for 6-7 hours. Have a good time.
Side.
And you got to eat. You got to absorb the alcohol. So if you're gonna eat this with something, try to think of something that's gonna go well. I mean, it would probably be kind of like a similar with yours, where a plate of cheese and meats, a little charcuterie board, not bad. I think
Well, with any crafty beer.
yeah. I think that would probably really accentuate a lot of the flavors of your food as well. So, if you want to do like the deli meats and stuff like that, I think this would go really well with it. I don't think it's something that you're going to want to drink all night though. It is very tart. It is, as you would expect with raspberries. So, yeah, I think
one-time drink maybe.
Yeah, I think if you were day drinking a little bit, I think this would be a good choice to start off with, and then flip to some other stuff. But yeah, I would definitely say probably a charcuterie board. You want to get a little cheese, some some salami. Damn, I'm hungry.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, you could just go with that. But overall, very solid beer. Overall, in general. Oh, look at this bad boy! It's starting to foam up on the top there.
Oh, I like that red or that I don't know. It's red or pink foam. It looks like.
Yeah. The foam itself is. You can kind of get a look there. Little pinkish red, maybe magenta, maroon. We'll go maroon. I don't think magenta. Maroon for sure.
We're sophisticated with our colors here.
Very, very. Yeah, solid beer. Rating. Definitely going to be less than the Fruity Nuggets, but it's still a very solid beer. I'll go with a 3.82. I think that's – I put this one on Untapped already. I think that's what I scored it as. Very solid beer. The 450 North Brewing Company, highly recommend. Take a look at their website. It's Columbus, Indiana. You would probably have to take a drive, or you could find a way to get it through the internet. So very good, very tasty beers. A lot of experimental ones, but yeah, overall, very good.
Solid.
So that is our beers for the day. Fruity Nuggets and balloons for me, and then Rob had his Bourbon County barley wine ale and Bourbon County
Grain
Bourbon
stout.
out. So if you want to give those a check, I mean, those are beers that are kind of typically harder to get. You kind of have to go to the brewery to get those, or
They're also a little more pricier than normal beers, but I definitely highly recommend. It's definitely worth the trip and the money.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna, if we venture out to Goose, I'm gonna see if I can get their 2019 or 2020s. So we'll see.
we'll have to see. But almost threw my pen. Before we sign off here, I figure we're doing a YouTube video, change things up from the podcast, do things a little differently. I don't know if anybody's here is a Redline Radio fan, but I was listening to them, and they had a really cool idea of people. If you're stuck in if you had to be stuck in a quarantine with certain people, you have to choose. You have to choose, and so they did Chicago athletes from each team. So one athlete from every team, past or present. So I figured, Rob, we might as well just do that. I think it'd be kind of fun.
Do it.
Kill a little time. Let me close this up real quick.
I'm gonna keep sipping on some.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you're bored, get a little sip. I'm gonna finish off this fruity nugget here. Hopefully that's cleared out by now.
You're really only here for the beer. I get that. If you want to, close out the video.
Now, fine. But if you want to stick around with us, learn a little bit about how we think, who we want as cool people hanging around with us. Stick around for a little bit. You got nothing better to do. I know you don't.
Exactly. We're big Chicago sports fans. Players just pop in my head right away.
Yeah, this is something I've been thinking about ever since I listened to the episode. So figured it'd be a fun little exercise.
What team do you want to start with?
So I think we saved the baseball teams for last, since we have the differing opinions on those.
For sure.
Let's start off. Let's start with the Blackhawks. Actually, no.
Okay.
Let's start with the Bulls.
The Bulls. Okay. All right, I'll go first, I guess. If I'm picking a current player, I'd probably want to go with Markkanen, Lauri Markkanen. Just the he started out as a foreign player. I would kind of want to hear about all that process and everything. And if I'm going in the past, I might get crap for this, but because I think a lot of people might think he's kind of bland, but I would really want to hear all the stories from those teams. And I'm not going to go back to the 90s Bulls. I'm going to go towards the 2000s Bulls. I'm going with Kirk Heinrich. Captain Kirk.
Captain Kirk. Okay. I like it. Want to learn about the Ben Gordon days? I can dig it.
For sure.
Yeah. For me, if we're going current, the Bulls they fucking suck. So honestly, I did think about Zach LaVine, because it would be fun to just be like, hey, that Jim Boylan guy's a pretty big idiot. He'd be like, yeah, he really is. I'm going Kobe White. I think he just
he looks like a fun dude.
He looks like a fun guy. Like he seems like he just has fun with everything. Like you'd be like, hey, let's go throw bottles off the roof. He'd be like, yeah, that sounds great, man. So I think he'd always keep the energy up. And then if I'm going past, it's got to be my boy Joakim Noah. That guy's just fucking. He seems like he's a party animal.
That's a better idea, actually. I bet that guy has great stories from those Derrick Rose teams.
He did an interview with Pardon My Take. That was hilarious. I definitely got to go Joakim Noah. He's my all-time favorite Bull from my lifetime. Technically Jordan did play when I was alive, but I was 3 years old, so
yeah,
I can't count that.
We don't remember that.
All right, let's go Blackhawks here.
All right. I'm going to go with my favorite player of all time still on the team. I'm going to go with Kaner. I feel like he has the best stories. The dude's he's pretty much a frat star. And even though he's in his 30s now, I'm sure he still parties like an animal. He'd have some great stories. I'm going to go similar characteristics for the past as well. I'm going with Jeremy Roenick. I just want to hear the crazy shit that happened in the 90s on those teams as well. I know the guy's kind of a douchebag, but I do want to hear just what he has to say. Like, just ask him about his stories and everything. So
I can dig it. For me, currently, this guy he's a freaking party animal. Andrew Shaw. I feel like him and I are
great choice.
probably get along very well. I think we both just kind of like those annoying people who like to pick on others. So we'll just like gang up on people. It'll be fun.
Joe the bully over here.
I am a bit of a bully. It's okay. No, I'm a nice bully. Like I say, like, oh Rob, like, you know, you're really cool. Stuff like that, you know. Yeah, definitely Andrew Shaw. I think he's just one of those party animals that I think he'll always be having a good time. But he also seems like, you know, like once he's had his good time, he's also down to chill. Like he'll just be like, yeah, let's just watch like a goofy ass movie and just chill, man. Like, so going with Shawzy, and then past, going a little differently here, going Coach Q.
Okay.
I mean, I've seen videos of him going wild at Bears tailgates. I want to talk to him about how the hell. I mean, I think Quinville would just be such a fun guy to drink with. So going Coach Q on this one.
Very nice.
All righty.
Bears.
Bears. Who we going, Rob?
Beer Bros and Bears.
Stop Bears.
So present, man. I feel like I want to go with Eddie Jackson. Eddie Jackson just seems like the funnest dude. I mean, he just sounds like I don't know. He seems like a fun-loving dude. So I think we'd have a lot of fun conversations. Cool dude. I'd like to hear about playing at Alabama, like playing for Saban and all that stuff. So that would be really interesting. What's that?
Spill the tea on Saban's recruiting.
Yeah, exactly. So if I'm going to the past, though, I'm not going too far in the past. There's a lot of players that come to my mind, but there's only one that I want to hear from, and I want to hear every personal story, and that is Jay Cutler.
Great choice. Yeah. I mean,
Cutler.
I was also leaning Cutler. I'll go differently just because I want to get other stories in there, but Jay Cutler just seems like such a great dude, just chill with. Like he's got that dry, sarcastic wit about him that like you'll laugh at pretty much like most of the stuff, but you know,
the guy received a lot of hate in his career here. I don't think he deserved that. I think we both agreed on that. You know, we've talked about this a lot.
I'd take Cutler back in a heartbeat over what we have right now.
Yes, and hot take: if he's the quarterback on the 2016, they win the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, a guy who could actually make a throw and get us back. Yeah,
Mike Martz ruined that guy, and the O-line.
The other 7 offensive coordinators ruined him too.
Yes. That could be a whole nother podcast, though.
Yeah, Jay Cutler, great choice. If I'm going current, guys, for me, this guy's my favorite player on the team right now, and he just seems like a boatload of fun. Akeem Hicks, Akeem the Dream. I think he's just a guy that'll have nonstop fun no matter what. You know,
the dude is actually a bear.
Yeah.
Like, dude is just so.
Like if it turned into a zombie apocalypse, like I also kind of want to think that way too. Like that guy'll take out. He's like, yeah, I'll take out these 50 zombies. It's all good. like with his bare hands, and he'll not get bitten. Like he's such a beast, and I think he'd be such a fun guy to be hanging out with. Like because if you're gonna be stuck with these people, you gotta like you can't get sick of them. Shaw, you may get sick of if he's just like too crazy, but you know, I think if you got guys like Akeem Hicks kind of being like, yo, let's mellow out a little bit, man. But if we're going past, Jay Cutler's a great choice. Kyle Long's another guy like that. Just like,
oh yeah,
definitely just chilling on the porch, grilling up some hot dogs or some burgers and just shooting the shit. I'm gonna go way back. I'm going 85, and it's got to be Mongo. That guy's just freaking. I mean, that guy still might be insane.
A psychopath. Yeah.
That guy was so fun to like just listen to. I never got to watch him, unfortunately, but the stories my dad has told me, he's such a crazy dude. Just seems like a funny guy to hang out with.
For sure.
All right. Do we want to go Cubs or White Sox first, Rob? I'll let you choose.
Up to you're gonna let me choose? All right. I guess we'll go with the Cubs first.
All right.
Oh, yeah, I'll go first, I guess. Present, I am going to go with probably John Lester.
Not that hard.
I'm going to pick John Lester because the guy has been around a long time. You know, he knows the game. He's pitched well, and I feel like the game's always changing. And the guy has always kept up a great career, so he really knows how to adapt and everything. I feel like he has great stories from previous teams as well, whether it be the Red Sox, even the Oakland A's. But I feel like he's got great stories. He's very smart, very knowledgeable guy. I feel like he'd be really interesting to talk to.
Oh, absolutely.
If I'm going in the past, again, I'm not going to go that far back. I'm going to pick one of my – I'm not a Cub fan, but one of my favorite players from growing up, and that was Carlos Zambrano. Oh. That guy had that fiery edge. Yeah. That guy had the best personality, and I feel like he has great stories as well because that guy had a temper. He wasn't always the best at controlling it, but he was also a great fucking pitcher as well.
Yes.
So
he should have been a Cy Young Award winner.
Yep.
That guy was so fun to watch.
Yeah.
Officially retired from the Chicago Dogs, sadly. So the comeback's over.
Yes.
Sadly. For me, I'm the Cubs guy here, so I mean I would honestly have a beer with just about anybody on this team except no, just about everybody. But if I'm going right now, I gotta go Kyle Schwarber. I think he'd just be such a fun guy. You know, he slimmed down a bit, but I think he could still probably be like, hey, we got this 30 rack of Natty Lights. Let's just go fucking wild. I think he'd be such a fun one. I want to talk to him about the knee injury and, you know, coming back to the World Series. I mean, like, he's just such an awesome guy. Really, really chill. So going Schwarbs. Close second is Anthony Rizzo. I feel like just have it, you know, shoot the shit with Rizzo, but
that's your boy.
That's my boy. But I gotta go Schwarbs on this one. And then if I'm going past, one of my favorites, I'm not going really too far, but one of my favorites from when I was growing up watching Derek Lee. I think he's just such a stand-up guy. D. Lee, you know, he should have won the MVP in 2005. So I want to talk to him about that. He was just he's not by any means like this like super profound famous Cub, but he was just a favorite of mine. I enjoyed watching him. He played great defense, and he was just a down-to-earth dude. So Derek Lee's my choice. That for a Cubs guy that may seem weird, like it should be like, oh, Sammy Sosa, but I don't know if I could look at him right now.
It's a little hard to look at.
But yeah, Derek Lee for me as a path Cub player.
All right, let's move on.
Boys.
Going to the White Sox. So my modern player, I've really thought about
Can I predict who your past player is going to be?
I already know who my past player is going to be.
Can I predict it?
Yeah, you can predict it.
Is it Mark Burley?
It is. Although there are a lot of choices I would have because I would really want to meet Ozzie Guillen. I would love to meet Frank Thomas. But pass would be Mark Burley. I'll get to that. Well, no, I'll just say why. Mark Burley's always been my all-time favorite player. I love Mark Burley. I used to pitch in Little League and I was lefty, and I mean, Mark Burley was like an idol. You know, I mean, just watching any of his games, it's great. The game is finished in an hour and a half. You're done, you know?
And he's usually drunk.
Yeah. Pitching in Game 3 of the World Series, and he had 5 beers in him. So, I mean, that's just awesome. If I'm, anyways, going back to present, if I'm picking a guy now, I kind of want to. He's a very new guy, actually. I'm not going to pick a guy who's kind of been with the team. I would say Jose Abreu, but I kind of want to be paired up, or I want to be with Dallas Keuchel. And the reasoning is just because he was involved with all that stuff with the Astros. I'd want to hear the inside scoop because there's more to this that we don't know.
Oh, absolutely.
There's definitely more to this, and I want to know more.
He's like a guy too that, like, you know, if you had a couple beers with him, like, you'd be like, all right, like, off the
You'd
record,
open up.
like, don't tell anybody, but like we did a lot worse. Like Altuve, yeah, he was wearing a wire. No, good choices, yeah, definitely. I'm a little. I don't like Keuchel as much just because he took some shot at the Cubs, but you know, whatever. Now that your team cheated and won a World Series, doesn't matter. For me, current, you know, obviously I'm not one of the biggest White Sox fans, but I want to pick the brain of Tim Anderson. I think he is one of the most exciting players in baseball, no doubt. Like Chicago has cornered the square market on exciting shortstops with Javi Baez and Tim Anderson, and I you know, Tim Anderson's got that like cocky swagger that I like in a player. So I got to talk to Timmy, and plus, you know, he's been around the team for a while now, so I think he could have some pretty good stories, and I think he's a pretty stand-up dude.
Oh yeah, some interesting insight.
Absolutely. Past, I mean, you know, I'm not a White Sox fan, but I have always, and you could attest this, I've always respected both Mark Burley and Paul Konerko. I think those are class act guys, awesome, you know,
absolutely
fun players of our generation. So, but if I'm going past, I think I got to talk to Jim Thome. I think
great choice.
I think he'd be such a fun guy to talk to.
He grew up a Cub fan.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sad he wasn't able to join, but I mean, by the time he would have been able to, he was a little slow, and we had Derek Lee.
A little seasoned.
He was fit to be a DH at the end of his career, but I think he brings such a fun like baseball knowledge, and
one of the most probably stand-up guys in the league. Just
absolutely.
One of the nicest guys you could probably.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. They're like he'd be the last person I would expect a scandal to be around. He's such an awesome guy. So probably gonna go Jim Thome. Close second would be like Konerko. But yeah, I'm going Jimmy Tomes. So yeah, that's our list. You know, just a little fun exercise. We're bored.
Fun fact: I was there for Jim Thome's 500th home run. Pretty awesome.
That is pretty dope. Was it 500 or 6? Wasn't it 600?
5.
I'm pretty sure it was a 600th.
No, he had a 600
with White Sox. Did he?
Yeah.
You're right. Okay. I was like, man, I thought he had 600 with the Sox, or his 600, not 600 with the Sox. That'd be insane. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's our list. But yeah, we'll be back at some point next week.
Will.
We're gonna think of another fun little thing to do. You know, maybe we'll do like top 5 movies or something. Who knows?
For sure.
You get to know us a little bit better. We get to not think about the coronavirus for an hour. So,
tune in.
Check out some other beers. Send us suggestions. 450 North. You know, again, shout out to our friend Charlie. He gave me this tip on them, and very glad he did. There's a couple that I'm very excited to try out again as well once they get released. So
we're definitely open to curbside pickup. I also have some other barrel aged stuff in the fridge that I plan to do on the next show. So
boom,
look forward to that as well.
Yeah, I got some stuff lined up. So yeah, Rob, close us out, man.
As always, we invite you to try these beers along with us. Definitely pick up some Bourbon County. Pick up some beer from 450.
Yeah, and you know, as always, drink responsibly, stay indoors, respect the quarantine.
Stay safe, and cheers.